Hello everyone. This is a video that is aimed at providing information on how Lead Coach Mentors 1 and 2 on their FRC teams can add students to their roster. It's easy enough to do, a little bit different than a few years ago, but it's pretty similar to the way that it was done the past year or so. In any case, you have to go into your firstinspires.org dashboard. So you can see I'm in my dashboard. From within your dashboard, you're going to go and find one of your teams. So for example, I have a bunch of teams, but here's one of the teams. You will see a variety of screens. The one obviously that we're dealing with today is team contacts and roster. So you can see this is a brand new team. It hasn't invited any youth members just yet. So when you go down to the contact options, there's two things here. We're gonna go to manage contacts today to add in some youth members, but just a reminder that this is exactly where you go to print out your team roster. So at every official first event, such as a kickoff, and certainly district events, provincial event, and world championships, if you get there, you have to print off a team roster and hand it in. Now, first would prefer, for a bunch of reasons that are listed as you'll see shortly, that you do this electronically. Now, there's a whole set of things to go through. So before we go to this point, I'm going to go back up here and say that at this site, and you can just search Youth Registration System. It has all sorts of information about how to do this for parents, for youth older than 13, for the part that we're doing today, which is about Lead Coach Mentors 1 and 2 and what they have to do. And it goes through essentially how you do this process. So this is something that you definitely want to look at. If there's a situation, and for sure there are some situations in this regard, where it's not going to be possible to do the electronic one like we're going to do here today. There is a form that you can get the students to and their parents to fill out. It looks like this. This is the location for it, so you can slow down the video and stop it and see that that it's there. You can contact me and ask me. I've sent it out to a bunch of people. So this is specifically the First Canada one for Ontario, as most of the teams that I'm dealing with right now are in Ontario, and it goes through the information that you need to do. Now the key thing about this is when you get it from the student and his parents or her parents, you need to make some copies of it, because when you go back here and you go to print your roster, it's not going to be on your roster. That student's name is not going to appear there. Once you print your roster out, you're actually going to have to take that and attach it to that roster, staple it, paper clip it, but also on your roster, hand write in the name of the student. And you're going to have to do that for each time you go to an official event, and that's why you need the copies. Any case, that's a final option if this doesn't work for you or can't work for you. What we're going to do is when we go to manage contacts, we're going to go up here where it says invite contacts, and there's a bunch of different kind of contacts you can invite. So if you were to choose one of these, such as the one that we're going to do today, Youth Team Mentor, and I select that, excuse me, there is some more information about that just here, but it's based on that document I showed you about Youth Team Registration System Overview. Essentially what you're going to do is you're going to type in the name of a student and then their email address, and you can add a bunch of them at a time. And then when you click down here to send invitation, they're going to get an email to that email address. Now occasionally their email provider may think that the information, the email that First is sending as a result of you clicking on the send invitation link here, is spam, and it may go to spam. So please, when you do this, tell them you've done this and they have to check it. They will get an email from First that says do not reply, And in that email, there will be a link for them and their parents, because as it says, it goes up to a certain age. So for example, if you were to choose youth mentor or mentor, whatever the case is, you're going to see that it says, oh, if they're 18 or over, they don't have to get their parents to do part of the consent and release. This is about consent and release. And as it indicates, you have to do it. There is no option here. It must be done for them to be part of your team. When you do go through this, just take a look at some of the other things. You can have someone in the guidance department if you're a school deal with things dealing with scholarships and so forth, and there's other kinds of mentors that you could have. But realistically, most teams probably are going to use this one most often, and they're going to add in some mentors because there's a mentor recognition thing that comes. So you click on there, you choose it, you put in the full name of the student, and then you put in the email address. If they're under 18, their parents are going to have to do part of it, and they're going to need email address too. Just a tip, they cannot use the same email address. So that's something to keep in mind. I hope that's helped. I think it will work well for you and your team if you follow this. If you do have any questions, please contact me at pkeenan@firstinspires.org, and I can help you through some of this. So just a reminder, your dashboard, you're going to this part of your dashboard that has information about team contacts and rosters. And if you want to see what the whole thing is all about, it's right here, and it explains it in detail. If for whatever reason you cannot get electronic one done, and sometimes that's timing, then you can go here and then here, and you'll see there's consent and release. So hopefully this is giving you a little bit better of an idea how to do it. But as I say again, if you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me.